In Chapter 6, we're going to use a lot of the information that we've already learned about the periodic table. So for example, if you look at the element magnesium on the periodic table, remember there are two numbers that go with each element on the periodic table. Magnesium has a 12 and a 24.31. The whole number, 12, that's Z, that's the atomic number, that's the number of protons. The 24.31, that's the atomic mass, which tells us that out of all the isotopes, put them all together, the average of one atom of magnesium is 24.31 atomic mass units. Now the problem with dealing with atomic mass units is that unit is too small to be useful in the lab. In the lab, you're usually going to measure things in grams. So we want to scale everything up from atomic mass units to grams. And we leave all the information that we learned from the periodic table, but now this number, this atomic mass, 24.31, it still represents the average of one atom of magnesium, but it also represents the mass of what's called 1 mole of magnesium. It's 24.31 still, but now we change the unit from atomic mass units to grams. And a mole is abbreviated just MOL. A mole is a number of items, just like a dozen is always 12 items. And a dozen can refer to a dozen pencils, a dozen erasers, a dozen anything. The same thing is true for moles. A mole is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd of whatever the item is that you're measuring. And we're going to use this conversion factor quite a bit. The number is called Avogadro's number. So we can use Avogadro's number in a problem like this. How many moles of magnesium are there in a 100-gram sample? And the key conversion we get from the periodic table. 24.31 grams of magnesium is our equivalent to 1 mole. So in this case, the unknown, how many moles of magnesium do we have in 100 grams? We can turn grams of magnesium into moles of magnesium using the periodic table. 1 mole, 24.31 grams. So we get just over 4 moles of magnesium. How many atoms is that? Well, we could just use Avogadro's number to continue this conversion. If we wanted to know how many magnesium atoms there were in 4.11 moles, we can turn moles into atoms using the fact that 1 mole of anything is Avogadro's number. So in that same 100-gram sample, we have 2.48 times 10 to the 24th atoms of magnesium.